Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back at the gym and wanted to do a bit of a performance projecting day. There's a handful of climbs that I've worked on over the last month or so that I'm close on but haven't been able to finish up. So today the goal is to finish those climbs. I'm feeling a little bit tired coming into the session today, so I'm going to warm up and see how I feel, and if needed I can change the goal of the session. Rather than setting a new wall last week, they ended up filling in a bunch of different climbs throughout the gym, so that's what I'm going to warm up on today. Alright, the warm-up is going very interestingly. I am having a lot of trouble on some of these new white tags. I will try them a little bit more, but it's hard to tell if it's me, if I'm just not having a great climbing day, or if the new boulders are hard. So I'll try them a little bit more, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to a set that I have been on before so I can get a little bit better of a gauge of how I'm feeling today. Alright, well, the warm-up climbs are not going great, but I do feel warmed up, so body temperature is up. I'm sweating a little. I'm gonna do a couple of white tags I've done before to continue warming up, check in, see if it's just me or if the boulders are hard. I try not to put too much weight on how I'm performing during the warm-up for my session. The goal is to get warmed up. And I've definitely had experiences where I felt terrible during the warm-up and then ended up sending my project. And I've had experiences where I felt really good on the warm-up and then did really poorly on my projects. So try not to put too much weight on that. So we're going to continue this process and see if today's a good projecting day. Alright, felt a little bit more normal on those ones, which is nice. I'm going to do a yellow tag and then I'll start working on my projects and see how those go. feeling good, feeling warmed up. I'm going to hop on this green hold blue tag first, and I'm going to just rehearse the upper moves because the crux for me is towards the bottom. So just gonna keep warming up, and then I'll start trying it from the start. Green climb is going well. Rehearsed the higher moves up on the climb and then tried it from the start, and was able to get to what's the crux for me, which is releasing the knee bar and swinging my feet over. I did try a few different methods on my last session on it and wasn't really able to make anything else work. So I'm going to try the knee bar again, see if I can finesse the release a little bit better. And if that doesn't work, then I'll kind of consider different beta. That went better. I'm going to take a longer rest and then I will try again. Yay! On that last try, I ended up switching shoes to a stiffer shoe because on the go before I felt really good, but then I didn't feel like I could toe into the right foot as hard as I needed to release the knee bar. So switched to the stiffer shoes and that made the difference. So yay! I have 2 more climbs in mind that I want to try. One is this white hold climb right behind me. It's got pretty big moves, kind of more slopey holds, more powerful, just kind of not my typical style. And then the other climb is the orange hold blue tag that I tried in a different video that I wasn't able to finish up, and that's more of a power endurance crux. So deciding between those 2 right now, I think what I'm going to do is try this white hold one behind me because it's actually the first move. That's like the hardest move for me. So I can try that a little bit, see how it goes, and if I'm not psyched on how it's going, I can always switch. I'm pretty happy with how that went. First move I was close on, I was tickling the hold, and then I just wanted to run through the rest of the moves to remember my beta. So all the moves except for the first move are done, and I'm going to rest a while and then I will try the first move again. That is the first time I've ever stuck that first move and then tried to reel it back in and couldn't quite. I've been climbing in some beat up gym shoes and I'm doing it. I'm going outside in my car and I'm grabbing my outdoor climbing shoes because this is what it's come to. I want to show you all my shoes real quick. So what I like to do is kind of retire my outdoor shoes once they start losing their edge to being gym shoes, and it just helps extend their life. I only have to get new shoes probably once every 9 months if I have 2 pairs of shoes. But yeah, these ones are on their last leg. This is the toe. It's starting to get blown out there. You can see that the edge is really kind of coming down. So I think these are at the end of their life, unfortunately. So that's why I'm using my outdoor shoes. I'll show you my other pair of shoes. These have a good bit of life left in them. You can see they still have quite a bit of rubber there and they're looking okay on the bottom. This one's starting to go a little bit, but it's not too bad. So that's why I was trying to use these shoes, but they are softer and I tend to prefer a stiffer shoe, which is something I can work on improving, is climbing in a softer shoe. That is one tactic you can use for improving your footwork. So I'll try and use these as much as I can, but for trying to perform, I'm going to be using my stiffer outdoor shoes, which I'll show you now. These are stiffer. They still got a good bit of rubber left. Everything's looking solid on the bottom. They're a little different than these softer shoes I'm wearing because they have this continuous rubber throughout the midsole, whereas these don't, and that's what makes it more flexible. And then, yeah, the rubber's just a little bit, I feel like it's a little bit softer on these ones. So definitely prefer the stiffer shoe. Here's the bottom of the first pair of shoes I showed you, which also has the rubber going through the midsole there. Wow, I'm really excited about doing that one. I tried really, really hard. The move to the pocket on the volume, I didn't have the left hand very good. So I had to try super hard to hold that position. And then the moves up top are still challenging, so I was worried I was gonna drop it, but I didn't. Yay, okay. So I'm gonna take a good rest and then I'm going to head on to my last project that I'm trying to finish up, the orange hold blue tag. Clearly I'm having a pretty good session, so I just want that to be an example that even if you don't feel great warming up, you don't have to psych yourself out. I just kind of continued through my warm up today and slowly started feeling better and better. That doesn't always happen, but just don't psych yourself out quite yet, even if you don't feel great on your warm up. I want to talk for a minute about why it's good to have these more performance focused days. There's a lot of different goals you can have when it comes to climbing in the gym. And while one of the advantages of the gym is that there are new climbs set on a regular basis, and so really you could be getting on new things all the time, it is good to practice sending in the gym. In this way, you can figure out some of your tactics that you might bring outside, and also figure out kind of the mindset things that come up when you're trying to execute, when you're trying to finish a climb. There are a lot of tactics when it comes to execution, and trying them out, experimenting with different things, seeing what works for you is really important to learn. On this last project of mine, my tactic is that I'm going to go to the top of the climb. I'm going to rehearse the end because that was my fall point. That's where I was falling from the start a lot. Rehearse it, make sure I'm familiar with the move, and then I'll start from the bottom. On the last boulder, where the hard move was the first move, it was fine to just try it from the start and hope that once I stuck the first move, I'd finish the boulder. Although I did refamiliarize myself with the rest of the moves. So your tactics are going to change based on the climb, and that's why it's good to practice. It's also good to do this on routes as well if you are at a gym that has routes and you're more of a sport climber. I also want to comment on my warm-up because I don't want to pretend like I have this unshakable mental state. I'm really annoyed that I wasn't able to do those white tags, and I do want to do them at some point. And potentially in the past, I would have let it get to me and I would have spent more time on each of those climbs. But I knew the goal of the day. I wanted to stay focused on the goal of the day, and so I was able to let those go and continue on with my session. That felt pretty hard, but I refamiliarized myself with those. I wanted to really make sure to take my time and make sure I understood each of the positions I'm trying to get into so that I'll have more confidence when I get there from the top. So I'm going to take a long rest. I know that this is a power endurance crux for me, so I want to make sure I feel really good before I pull on, and then I'll try it from the start and see if there's any bottom moves I need to rework as well. Wow, I was not expecting to do that. I didn't feel super good during the climb, but just kept going and tried to make sure to get everything right and was able to finish it up. So I'm pretty psyched about that. That's a really good day. I'm gonna call it good there. I'm pretty tired. But yeah, that's an example of a performance-focused day in the gym. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.